Hey there, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. I'm PrimeHGSS, and today I want to look at this really cool Gouging Fire EX deck that I was playing on my stream last night. Um, I've been finding a lot of difficulty in finding enjoyment in the current format, mainly because the format has kind of been solved since before NAIC, so it's gotten kind of boring and stale for me. So I've been trying to explore new options, and this was a deck that when it first came out I kind of tried to play around with. Didn't think it was quite there. Definitely struggled against decks like Charizard. I still think Charizard can be kind of a shaky matchup, but you can definitely tech for it with cards like Max Belt as your A-spec of choice. But today I'm gonna go over this list. This list was a lot of fun. Since Twilight Masquerade came out, this deck gained Monkey Dory, which Monkey Dory has actually been a phenomenal addition to the deck, allowing you to hit crucial numbers with a combination of the damage that Magma Basin puts on your board. So starting out, Gouging Fire EX is your main attacker. It's a great card because it's an ancient card, which means that Professor Sada Vitality can accelerate energy to it. The first attack, Heat Blast, nothing special. 60 isn't really the greatest number to be hitting right now, mainly because a lot of decks, their basics, if they can play a 70 HP basic, they're playing it because of Dragapult. So that attack, you might use it to set up a KO on something, but mainly you want to be Blaze Blitzing as much as you can and taking those big one-hit knockouts. Blaze Blitz for 3 energy, 2 fire and colorless, 260 damage. And it can't use Blaze Blitz until it leaves the active spot, which is significant, meaning you have to switch out and bring it back to the bench to be able to use that attack again. It doesn't say you can't use it on your next turn. It's just until it leaves the active spot, it has to be brought back to the bench. So keep that in mind. Next, we got one Entei V. Entei is great as an early game aggressor, as well as a target for Forest Sealstone. Forest Sealstone is just a great consistency card in this deck. You don't have any other V-Star abilities, so and primarily Entei is going to be used for that ability. But with the combination of Magma Basin, it makes it very easy to get up and attacking really early. Also, the 230 HP is actually pretty strong. It's pretty high for a basic, and it leaves you just out of range of something like Charizard would need a Defiance Band to knock you out, stuff like that. So I really like Entei. Next, this is one of my favorite cards in this deck. It's a great one prize attacker. For 1 energy, Basin gets Inferno Wings up to doing 90 damage. It just takes fast, easy knockout on small little things like Raw Charmander, etc. The only downside to it is that it has to have damage on it to be able to hit that number, meaning that with at least 10 damage on it, it gets knocked out by a Cramorant Spit innocently, which is kind of annoying because otherwise you want those easy one prize attackers against Lost Box decks. So that's the one downside, but other than that, this card has been phenomenal. Just very easy to attack with, very easy to take quick prizes with. I love it personally. We got Monkey Dory, big addition to this deck. What Monkey Dory allows you to do is the damage you put on your bench with Magma Basin is 20 damage, and you can move that damage over to one of their Pokemon. Something like a Pidgeot, a Regidrago V-Star, a Lugia V-Star. Those Pokemon with 280 HP. And Monkey allows you to get those knockouts with Gouging Fire, since Gouging Fire does 260. I have absolutely loved this card in this deck, and it's, I think, kind of pushed the deck high. Like I said before, I think it was quite missing something. Usually you used to use Iron Valiant EX to hit those numbers, but that just meant switching multiple times in a turn, which was not really that easy to do. It'd burn your resources really fast. This allows you to hit those numbers a little more stable, in a little more stable fashion. Next for your consistency, we got Squawkabilly. I played 2 of these in this deck. The turn 1 Squawkancies is very important, and if you play 1 and you prize it, it can be just very hard to get up and going. On top of that, Motivate is actually a great attack for this deck because you can soften something up without needing Monkey Dory immediately. And then, like, if you hit a Lugia V or a Regidrago V, or even a Pidgey that they're going to evolve into Pidgeot for 20, and then accelerate 2 energy to your Gouging Fire. So it's a great attack for this deck. So that's why I play 2 of those. Mew is restart. It's a great draw ability, as well as having a free retreater that you can switch into. Like I said, Gouging Fire has to leave the active spot to be able to use that attack again. So being able to switch into a free retreater is pretty crucial. Greninja is Radiant of choice in this deck. You can toy around with stuff like Charizard and Heatran, but the consistency of discarding, the consistency that Greninja provides, as well as fueling your discard pile with energy for Magma Basin, for Sada, I think hands down, this is just the best Radiant for this deck. And then last but not least, Iron Bundle. It helps you be a little more aggressive. If they have something in the active, say like a Manaphy, that they like, if they say like Gardevoir, they start a Manaphy, they Evo TM'd into 2 Kirlia, then you can, you don't care about the Manaphy, you can bundle it out of the active spot, and then they have to promote a Kirlia, and then you wipe a Kirlia off the board, which is just really strong inherently. So that's why Iron Bundle's in here. Other Pokemon you can definitely toy with are Delphox V. Delphox is pretty common to see in some of these lists because of that magical fire in combination with energy switch. You can pull it off since you're playing a deck like this. They're not really expecting a snipe attack. I currently, my list, I just don't play enough energy switches to be able to, I feel like I can potentially pull this off consistently or when I need to. So that's why it's not in here right now, but you definitely toy around with it. It's still, it's a great attack. But the other upside to Delphox V is that it is another V that can use the Forest Seal Stone. So then we'll go back to our trainers, or supporters first. Sada, it's your draw engine, heart of the deck. You play 4 of them. Then Iono, I have 2. I don't hate the idea of cutting it to 1 and maybe adding a Pal Pad. I don't use it that much, but sometimes you do kind of just need to refresh your hand just to keep moving. And then 2 Boss, it's just a gust option. You, like I said, you want to be one-shotting specific things, and if there's something in the active that you can't one-shot, you can gust something that you can. And then onto our trainers. 4 Nest Ball, find your basics. 4 Ultra Ball, discards energy, finds your Pokemon. Another, just great. You need energy in the discard pile, so more consistency right here. Also can whittle your hand down to use Muse to restart. 4 Switch Cart. Since you are needing to move your Gouging Fire is a basic Pokemon, and you need to move it out of the active spot. So that's why this is in here. As well as Monkey Dory. Gouging Fire is kind of beefy with a big charm. Using Monkey Dory with Switch Cart, you're healing essentially 50 damage from a Gouging Fire. It probably won't prevent a 2-shot knockout most of the time, but it's better than just playing Switch. Everything in the deck's basic, so everything in the deck can be switched out with this. We got 3 Earthen Vessel. Finds your fire energy to get discarded, and also finds your dark energy for the Monkey Dory. 2 energy switch. Sometimes you have to ditch that dark energy for Greninja's concealed cards, which then later on you can Sada it to one of your Gouging Fire and energy switch it to Monkey Dory to fulfill Monkey Dory's effect. That's mainly what I've used it for. I usually don't find any between Basin and Sada. I usually don't find a problem powering up a Pokemon or powering up a Gouging Fire. It could come in useful to attack with Entei. Say if you don't have the attach for hand, you can Basin and energy switch to it. There are scenarios where you can attach to Mew, double energy switch to it, and then gust up their Greninja, the Radiant Greninja, and copy Moonlight Shuriken with genome hacking. I have done that before, which is kind of another reason I don't play the Delphox V, because that is another option. If you wanted to snipe, it's just copy their Greninja, but that's also, it's matchup dependent. Next, Pokegear, just a little dig to draw, find your supporters, mainly find your Sadas. We gotta play 2 of those. And then we play 2 Bravery Charm. Iron Valiant is pretty beefy. Or not Iron Valiant, I'm so sorry. Gouging Fire. Gouging Fire is pretty beefy. This gives it 280 HP, which I've debated cutting these. 280 HP is like not a hard number for most decks to hit. But I really like this card against Dragapult because you can attach it to your bench sitters like Mew and Squawkabilly, which puts them both just out of range of Dragapult's Phantom Dive attack. They have to set up the damage on it beforehand, so they can't. These become not so much of a liability for them to just boss up and KO. And then the 1/4 Seal Stone. This is just for Entei, just some added consistency. Great card, helps you pull off aggressive turn 1 plays. And then to cap it off for Magma Basin, Stadium of choice. This is, along with Sada, your primary energy acceleration, as well as putting damage on your board to move with Monkey Dory to hit crucial numbers. Onto our energy, 3 Jet Energy. Great for switching out or Gouging Fire to reset that attack. Great for even getting like a Gouging Fire into the active turn 1. If you start something that isn't Mew, it's going to require, or you don't have a switch cart, if you can bench Gouging Fire, Magma Basin to it, Sada to it, and then attach this and put it in the active, you can get a Gouging Fire attacking on your first turn. So this has been a phenomenal card. 2 Dark Energy. These are for your Monkey Doors primarily. Don't really need any more than 2. You can recover them with Sada and Energy Switch to get back on your Monkey Dory. I have not found any sort of problem if I end up discarding them. And then to cap it off, 8 Fire Energy. 8's felt perfect. You find them and you find them with Earthen Vessel. You recycle them with Sada and Basin. I couldn't possibly see going down to 7. 8's felt fine. If anything, I kind of wouldn't mind cutting these first. But like I said, these have been very helpful against Dragapult. So that is the list. This deck, like I said, has been a ton of fun. And I do encourage you to try it yourself. If you're looking just something different to play. But anyways, yeah, that's the list. Let me know what you guys think. Again, I do stream over on Twitch, so I will link that below. Go follow it. You'll get notifications when I go live. And I hope to see you guys over there. This is HGS, Brian. Peace, guys.